What happened to your high school sweetheart? She is married to what looks to be a pretty great guy, and she is working at her dream job, so presumably she is pretty happy. And I'm happy for her. She was living in a group home when we dated freshman year. She aged out at 18, and fell right off the radar. Turned out she went to live at a homeless encampment and didn't survive the winter. She's in the other room watching Jurassic Park with our daughter. She died in her sleep in her 30s from a heart attack. Edit. Thanks to everyone for the kind words, she was a good girl and woman. Her birthday would have been in 5 days, she would have enjoyed reading the kind words. Y'all are good people. She's currently asleep on my chest. Tomorrow we're going to a restaurant to celebrate our 9-year anniversary. Mine contacted me when he heard I was getting married. Turns out he was married at the time with 3 kids, but he would leave his wife for me now that I was ready to be married. So marriage is just a process of interchangeable parts? He reached out again some 30 years later. I connected to see if he had grown up. Nope, still a dick, on his 3rd wife, but willing to have sex with me if I was open to it. No thanks. She recently got engaged to some loser that she's too good for. We're also buying a house together. He passed away when he was around 40. He had a very aggressive stomach cancer. He cheated on me with my cousin on Christmas Eve in our house. Broke up with him. Few months later he started to date my stepmom. Last I heard he works at a cook at a bar and is a deadbeat dad that hasn't seen his kid in 7 years. She dropped off my radar for 15 years. Then we happened to cross paths when I decided to attend a community gathering and walk for Pokémon Go of all things. We exchanged hellos and caught up for a few minutes, but she didn't have time to talk. Turns out she was beyond busy, because she was the one who organized the event. I don't think I'm a proud point in her life, and she didn't seem that excited to see me, so I just let her do her thing and stay out of her way. Our time together is supposed to be in the past, and that's where I'll keep it. I had a good time at the event, though, so I'm glad she put it together. Became a well-respected academic and author, but struggled with depression particularly late in life and sadly succumbed to it last year. She's at work now bringing babies into the world. We've been married 25 years and are happy with how our lives turned out. I married her. We celebrated our 42nd anniversary September 13th. We're getting married after COVID is over. He died at age 24 of a heroin overdose. We weren't together, but we were still best friends, though we fought constantly about his drug use. He overdosed the night before he went away to rehab. Edit. Once I posted this, I realized again how utterly depressing this is. I do want to add that one good thing came from this, and I am now close with his entire family. I wish he never died, and sometimes I'm still so angry at him. I've never met a person like him before, and I highly suspect I never will again. I am, however, very thankful to have a second set of parents and a whole slew of siblings who help me grieve and remember him for the way he truly was. He married some chick that didn't go to our school. Then he cheated on her with my former best friend. Gave them both herpes. I dodged so many bullets there, y'all can just call me Neo. Unfortunately he never could come out of the closet, for his parents were, and are, incredibly anti-gay, and family ties seem to hold sway over him to this day. He's married with 2 children and seems incredibly unhappy, unhealthy in my opinion. I happily married my later in life best friend and it's fucking awesome. We got married, then divorced. He's doing the bulk of the work of raising our son, since I have cancer and the chemo wrecked my immune system. Son lives with him, and sees me for a few hours on socially distanced outings when I have enough white blood cells. I appreciate his help so much. He broke up with me amicably after 8 months when we were 16. We went to different universities. 5 years and 2 degrees each later, I traveled through his city for a job interview. I went for a drink or 3 with him after the interview. It was as if we'd seen each other yesterday. He walked me to the train, just in time, but I hopped off to kiss him before hopping back on as the train departed. 5 years later we're in the process of buying our first house and are engaged. Heart. He's married with twins. I am very happy for him. Still attached to my arm. I loved my high school boyfriend so much. He took advantage of it. After 4 long years of an insane emotional roller coaster, I got the nerve to finally end it. I moved and changed my number so he couldn't find me. I never had the strength to not take him back. 16 years later, he found me on FB and I agreed to meet up with him for dinner. He was just released from a 4-year prison sentence, for the second time, for drug-related issues. I had just finished my master's degree. I wanted to travel back in time and give my younger scared self a hug for having the courage and strength to leave. He pulled out in front of a semi-truck on an early foggy Saturday morning when he was 19. He never saw it coming and died instantly. She's at our apartment, doing university classes. Without planning it, we ended up in the same college. He studies med and I biology, so we help each other sometimes. The advantages of having dated the top student. I married him. 6 years married in November. We split up in 1996, got back together in 2013, biological clocks ticking, we had a child and got married. Soon we are moving to a house on an island, near some nice beaches and trails. Our child is almost 4 and awesome. She broke up with me, which I don't blame her for. I was on the wrong track, selling weed and had no goals. That set off a dark period for me, but eventually I moved out of town, started my own business, and haven't looked back. We reconnected a few weeks before the high school reunion, actually 2 years ago. She's doing quite well, and has a great husband. We caught up and wished each other the best, shoot a message every now and then. I wish I knew how to be just a normal friend with women when I was a teenager, lol. She's lesbian now. He got into cocaine and dropped out of engineering school. Last I heard he was driving a truck somewhere. She married the dude she dated after me and is still happily married with 2 kids. I don't see her much because I live in a different state now, but we catch up on social media now and then. She turned out much better than a lot of the dumpster fires I dated after her. She committed suicide. For a long time I blamed myself, but I now realize she had troubles way beyond what 17-year-old me could help handle. He got engaged over the summer and he's at college studying physics. He's getting married in a year and a half and hopefully I'm invited since I'm his fiancé. She broke up with me after we graduated and is now engaged to the super wealthy dude she broke up with me for and living in Italy. Needless to say, she's doing better for herself than I am, lol. We met online when we were in high school, we lived in different states. I visited her a couple times and we talked all of the time. But when we started talking about me moving, I couldn't do it. I was insecure and afraid to start a life with her. Afraid of moving away from my parents, getting a real job, paying bills. She gave all of herself to me and had her hand out for me to take. The worst part was I couldn't even get over my insecurities enough to talk to her about it. I never talked to anyone as much as I talked to her, but I couldn't tell her I was afraid. I just walked away like a coward. She never wanted to see or hear from me again. That was 20 years ago and I still can't believe I gave up on and hurt my best friend for fear and anxiety. I've always hoped that she found someone amazing and that to this day I never even enter her mind. I've never forgiven myself and I'll never be able to apologize to her. So it just sits in my mind, an unresolved issue, maybe why I still think about her after so long. Man, if anyone reads this, don't let fear and anxiety or other people's thoughts and concerns keep you from opening up and being true to the person you love. We are both high-scrolling Reddit right now. She's getting married soon to the guy she dated immediately after me. Similar to the girlfriend after her. I haven't dated all that much actually, but so far 2/3 actual relationships have found their spouses after me. Number 3 still has the chance. Not sure how I feel about this, but hey, tired of being single? Break up with me. 66% chance you'll find them after. We got married at 18. He turned out to be an abusive, cheating fuckwad, and left me for a woman he'd been sleeping with at 21. He married her a month after our divorce. They'd only been together for a couple months. After 2 years, he came home from deployment. He cheated and left her for someone else. Now he's dating her and working a shit job with his dad at a mechanic's shop and is probably spending all his money getting drunk and buying girls' nudes from OnlyFans. He has grown up into a super cool, kind, mature dude and is happily pursuing his dreams in the performing arts and dating lots of women that are more right for him than I was. I'm really happy for him. We've been friends since our amicable breakup.